report that to her. I also cover housing and homelessness issues for the senator, immigration, disaster prep and recovery, and I cover a specific geographic area, which is mostly East Los Angeles County. This is Kristen Woodruff, who's one of our staff assistants, and this is Lorenzo, tell me your last name.
Martino.
Who is a very new intern, so we thought it would be good if he came down and kind of saw democracy in action.
Yeah.
I'm just here to hear any thoughts, concerns you have regarding whatever it is within the federal government that you would like the senator to hear and listen to. That's my job. To the extent that I know her policy positions and certain decisions that she's made, I will explain those to her, or to you all if you want me to. We also have her most recent speech that she made to the Judiciary Committee regarding Jeff Sessions and delaying that vote that I'm happy to pass out. Lorenzo, actually, would you mind?
Sure.
Just make sure everybody gets a copy. So we've had a few protests this week as well, and I think we've heard from a lot of community members regarding immigration, the ACA, the potential ACA for repeal, and things like that. So if there's a particular agenda you'd like to discuss, I'm all ears. Anything, I don't know if you all have a format or if we should just go around. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a whole range of issues, and frankly, most of the people in this room have never met one another.
Okay.
And so we didn't come here necessarily as a group to tell you one thing.
Okay.
I think I speak for almost everyone when I say that we want the senator to oppose Sessions and basically oppose as many of his nominees as possible, if not all of them.
Yes, all of them.
All of them. Great.
All
Great, good. That's how I felt. I just didn't want to speak for everybody. Yeah, and for me, my main thinking is, I saw Senator Warren's post about Carson and how, he was going to be confirmed anyway, so at least, he made certain promises to me, and that's the best we can do. And my feeling is, if he's going to get confirmed anyway, vote no. Vote no, because that's what we want you to do.
Yes.
Because he's not fit. Because every single nominee down the line has some problem with them, whether they're racist, whether they're sexist, whether they're transphobic, whether they stand to profit from their position, right? But as a whole, we know that most of them are going to be confirmed because we don't have the numbers. So at the very least, make a statement to your constituents that I am going to oppose. I'm going to oppose these people, even though they may have, they're racist, but they're qualified, right? Or, they're qualified, but they're going to profit from their position. There's a reason for everyone, and it's not about how qualified are they, and can we get a better nominee? It's, we're going to lose this fight, but stand up for us and say no.
Yes.
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 Say no.
Well said.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that, and I think that is the sentiment we've been hearing all week, and I think it's taken, and we are definitely, the senator is hearing you loud and clear. So so we'll just go around the room like this. Yeah,
Sure.
please.
And just piggybacking, I know one of the reasons that I'm here, and I'm sorry that I'm doing this simultaneously, but people are watching. I know it's weird. Is I'm sort of shocked by Senator Feinstein's vote for Mike Pompeo.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The very fact that the day after he was confirmed, a person who is on the record saying that he is willing to change back the rules on torture and CIA black sites to the pre-Obama restrictions, the very fact that it was reported everywhere that the White House was preparing a draft for an executive order to allow these things to continue, and the person I voted and have voted for many years, Senator Feinstein, voted to allow this person to become. It doesn't matter if he was going to make it or not. Just like the Iraq War, where you stood in history is going to matter.
Yes.
And it's going to matter in the next
Yes.
election.
Yes.
And so with Sessions, with DeVos, with Tillerson, all of these positions are going to be proven to be historic mistakes, and she needs to be on the right side of that vote.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
It's pretty obvious to everyone here that 100% of everything Donald Trump wants to do is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Because my sign, filibuster everything.
Everything.
Because it's not one thing. They're trying to snowball us with so many things that they're forcing Senator Feinstein to pick her battles, right?
Right.
But she has to pick all of them.
Yes.
We can't afford to let anything slide because 100% of these are terrible, bad things for America and bad for people,
Yes.
right? And if suddenly there was one little thing that he did that was a good idea, great, go for that. Support that 100%. It'd be a miracle, and I'd be glad and surprised to see it. But so far, 100% of these people are just in it for the money, including President Trump, and are not qualified for the job. They don't know how the job works or what the department does. They have to have it explained to them. And it's comically corrupt. And that's what I'm saying, we can't afford to pick our battles. We have to fight every single one of them.
Yeah.
And that's my speech.
Yes.
All right, well, I really appreciate you welcoming us in this room.
Thank you.
Wonderful exchange of citizens. That's what our constitutional democracy is all about. I am also disappointed with the acceptance of the nomination of I can't
Pompeo?
even say his name, who, he supports torture. Torture is not supported in our United States Constitution. It's not a democratic issue, it's not a Republican issue, it's about constitutional democracy. It's about adhering to the groundwork of our constitutional principles. I'm happy to next week come back with a stack of constitutions, and I'd be thrilled to have a collective reading of those parts. We also, in our international agreements that we signed, which are valid under the Constitution, under our constitutional democracy, we don't support torture. Aside from all of that, torture has proven that it does not work. So going forward, I would hope that she becomes more of a super representative and gets on board and aligns herself with other people like Kirsten Gillibrand, yeah, who has been scrupulous in supporting principles of constitutional democracy. And going forward, I also am against the nomination of Sessions, DeVos, and the repeal of the ACA.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say, again, first off, thank you. And I've always been really proud to be represented by Senator Feinstein. I think we have kind of a special role in California. We're so large and so blue, and I really do feel like we need to lead by example. It may just be like California pride or ego or something, but I do feel that other states are watching what we're doing, and that for that reason, it's so important, like people are saying, even if we know someone's gonna get pushed through, we know we're gonna lose, we, not only us in California who voted for Feinstein and who are represented by her, want her to stand up and say no, but I really do feel like the eyes of the whole country are looking especially closely at California in light of everything, and I feel that we have an obligation to stand up and fight. I mean, we are a huge state, and I think what we do carries a lot of weight. For that reason, I really hope she will oppose Sessions. I listened to her speech from just a few days ago. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really inspiring. I think it's clear what her personal views are. I absolutely understand, and I think everyone in this room understands that there are forces at work that we cannot possibly comprehend, and there are ins and outs, and yes, there's the idea of picking your battles, and there's nuances, et cetera, but at the end of the day, it's a yes vote or a no vote, and that does mean something, and these things have such heightened meaning now. I think it's a slippery slope, and I just, again, I've always been so proud to be represented by her, and I just really hope that she'll just keep at it. People need to stay, we need leadership right now. Yeah, and then on a personal note, please God, don't repeal the ACA.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yes.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Diani. I sort of started the snowball that turned into this
You
event
did.
today. I just wanted to applause, that's I wish that we were here today to be just thanking the senator and saying we've got your back, and but we're not. We're here today to ask for what feels like the bare minimum of symbolic gestures to stand up for us, when really we should be here thanking her for all the stands that she's taken. The speech was great. The speech was great, but she also is voting for all of his nominees, so the speech doesn't matter. And I just, like, we should be talking, if the roles were reversed, the Republicans would have been calling bloody murder ever since November 8th. And a constitutional amendment to have a new election would be on the table.
We'd
There
have
wouldn't
open
have
carry
been an
militias on
electoral
corners.
vote. There would have been an electoral vote that was delayed until we had a thorough investigation into the Russian hacking. There would have been demands to audit the vote. There would not have been an inauguration. None of that would have happened if Hillary Clinton had been elected and there was any whiff of her collaborating with the Russian government to get elected. And all of our representatives, and Feinstein included, who say, well, I don't dispute the election, but we should look into that. No, you should dispute the election. And we are here and we are behind you. Look at the standing ovation John Lewis got when he landed in the airport. Like, there 65, 68, 67 million people voted for Hillary Clinton. Like, we are behind you. Like, we've got your back. I know that, like, there are Republicans in this state and you have to, like, you know, be careful, but like, our democracy is under attack. And we have an authoritarian kleptocrat in office who wants to dismantle our government and call him illegitimate and call for a constitutional amendment and for a special election. I know that's not going to happen, but we should be having that conversation. And we shouldn't be here today asking you to vote no as a symbolic gesture of defiance. We should be here thanking you for taking a stand for it.
She'd be a hero. She'd be a hero.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Fran Nichols, and I'm super excited to be here, and I've always been obsessed with politics, like, from a distance, you know? And like, but this is the first time in my life that I've gotten this actively involved. And one of the, I'm opposed to everything that's happening right now. I have no qualms about admitting that, but it gets personal. It gets personal for every person in this room. And it got really personal today with me about Sessions. I have a wife, and I've said to numerous of my straight friends, imagine rolling over in bed in the morning and looking at your husband or your wife, your opposite sex partner, and wondering if one day that marriage is going to be illegitimate. And that's a real concern for the LGBTQ community. And my concerns are far-reaching. But that's my one very, it tears at my heart. I got married before the election results came in on the off chance. My wife and I have been together for 10 years. It wasn't like it was a rash decision, but on the off chance that Trump got elected, you know, and we had, anyway. And now we're here. And this Sessions should not even, like, it shouldn't even be a possibility. And I also want to say that there's a need. We are hungry for, she is too, for major, strong, powerful leadership to say no. I will go to Washington. I will stand by her side. She is a rock star. She got that pacemaker made and then came back. Who does that? I've called your offices. I have left that message at every branch of your office to say she is a rock star. Rachel Maddow's like, she will take you down. And that's right. And she needs to know that we need her to be that person. We need her to be that representative for us. We are hungry for that. We are ready for that, and we will be behind her, but we need to know that she is behind us. I want the symbolic vote. I show up for every election and cry every time I put that sticker on my shirt because I love democracy. And part of democracy is taking a stand, like everyone has said in here. Be on the right side of history. The no is No means, no is the answer. That's it. It just has to be no.
Yeah.
We stand behind no.
Really quickly before we jump to everyone too, thank you all so much. I want to it's the least I can do is let you all up and hear your concerns. That's literally my job. So thank you for being so respectful but conveying your thoughts and concerns with such passion. I think that's the one thing that has percolated everything in the conversation is no one doubts Californians are angry, they're upset, they're passionate about it because they're protecting something that they truly love and they've fought really hard to get. So, and I can assure you that the senator clearly understands that. Yeah. Yes.
I just feel like it's also important to name the people that we are opposed to in the cabinet specifically.
Yes.
For me personally, Tillerson, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, Perdue, Puzder, Price, Carson, Perry, DeVos, and Pruitt are my most and Sessions, of course. I know we've mentioned him before. Those are the most important for me to oppose. And as well, I wanted to see if there's anything that we can do as a group or constituents to help the senator push towards stopping the cabinet confirmations.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question, and I think this is part of it right now. I think, and Kristen can speak to this as well. So part of Kristen is the face of our office. She's the staff assistant that she's answering the calls and she's reading the letters and she's getting the faxes. And I think that at this time, I've been with the senator for over 2 years now. I've never seen this level of interaction and participation from the community, and that in itself sends a very loud message. And so I think things like this, where you come to our offices, you express your opinions, and you share your personal stories, that is something that the senator appreciates more than anything. I think the local perspective for her has always been kind of the main lens through which she sees things. So I would say continue to do this, and I wish I had an action plan right now, but I think this is part of it.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Yes.
I was actually, you were starting to speak towards what I was about to ask. What are the most effective ways of getting messages to her or being heard? Are these types of meetings the most effective way? Are phone calls actually effective? Is it actually effective to send letters? Because I understand you guys get a deluge of all that stuff. So what actually makes its way through?
Everything makes
Everything
its way
makes through.
For
Okay.
Senator Feinstein, everything makes its way
Okay.
through. So she is always reading the calls. She's always reading the letters. She pays attention.
Okay.
So I can assure you, and I think that's something that I was just impressed with. I started as a staff assistant, and I was just very amazed by how much she cares about what her constituents are saying. So yeah.
Okay, and my last part of my question is, when is the next opportunity coming down the line to be in the same room with her, to meet with her, a town hall meeting or anything at all?
So we don't have any town hall meetings on the books, but that's something that we've been getting a lot of requests for.
Okay.
So we have shared that with the senator, and as soon as something comes up, you all have my contact information. If you all could do me a favor and send me an email or communicate with me in some way, and that way I have your contact information and we can let you know the next time that happens.
Okay.
The other thing is, if you happen to be in DC, she does something called constituent breakfasts, where she takes a large group of Californians and she has breakfast with them, and she has a chance to speak with them and give them a little bit of an update about what's going on in Washington. She loves doing those, and you can find more information about that on our website, or you can always shoot me an email and I can let
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Brian Johnson. Really quick, everyone has basically said how I feel. As a Californian from Chicago, I think, California is the strongest, bluest state, and we expect our senators to be the strongest, bluest senators as a representation of us. We would all really appreciate it if she led by example more often and not the business as usual politics. That would really make a difference, especially with the next election coming up. And like I said, it would just, it would be a perfect representation of us as a whole. Okay, so I you know, I left work. They've been looking for me for 2 hours, and you know, I felt that this was necessary for us to do.
Right
so,
on.
you know, please, you know, just tell her that we just want her to vote no, to stand her ground, and you know, represent the voice of the people. Okay, thank you so much.